Yeah.
Oh,
Browns
let's go
first.
Browns.
This one will be quick for
What an
me.
audible.
All right,
Uh,
let's take a deep breath. Let's talk about the Browns. 3-14 last season. They were fourth in the division. They missed the playoffs. They were the worst offense in football, EPA per play, negative .179. They were, ironically enough, both top 16 in both pass block and run block categories. They were 10th in run block or pass block, 14th in run block. Their defense fell off a cliff from first to 18th, so that's a big problem. .018. But their pass rush win rate was fifth, and their run stop win rate was 34%, which was first. There was only two other teams who were top five in both of those categories, and I'm pretty sure it was the Bills and the Vikings. So like that's the Browns' territory. They were along the defensive line, which is really weird. They have Myles Garrett, but I I do the quarterback. I did Flacco. Like I'll throw Flacco on here because Pickett didn't play much. We have two rookies, so Flacco, of guys with like 300 passing snaps, .049 EPA per play, which was 22nd of 36 qualified quarterbacks, 47.4 success rate, which was 18th, so directly in the middle. And then I just had to go out and look. Deshaun Watson. We can say whatever we want about his off-field and stuff. He's never going to play a down of football ever again because he had the worst EPA per play for a quarterback since 2018 Josh Rosen. That is how horrific Deshaun Watson was on the field. It's the worst trade of all time. I'm fine stamping that. Sorry, Herschel Walker, you're pushed to the side now, buddy. Deshaun Watson walked through the door, and hat tip to David Malgetta for getting a fully guaranteed $200 million for his agent or for his client. But we get into the offseason. Myles Garrett signed the big extension, 4 years, 160. He signed it relatively quickly. Remember, like we were gonna have all these trade negotiations in like June, and he decided, no, I kind of like $40 million a year. Devin Bush returned. He was just another throw in here. He played some snaps for them. Their additions through free agency: Malik Collins, 2 years, $20 million. Joe Tryon Shiinka, 1 year's $4.75 million. That's kind of just a swing on an edge rusher, see if he's good. Joe Flacco, as I mentioned, 1 year, $4 million. Cornelius Lucas, a swing tackle, 2 years, 6.5, and then Tevin Jenkins, swing guard, one for $3 million. Their draft. We talked about the Jags, how they were on the receiving end of getting the number 2 pick. Well, what did the Browns get for trading away Travis Hunter? Well, they drafted Mason Graham at 5. They received a 2026 first from the Jags, number 36, who we'll talk about in a minute, and a 25 fourth. So that became Dylan Sampson, which they kind of maneuvered around the board. But the rest of their draft was Carson Schlesinger, linebacker out of UCLA at the top of round 2. The number 36 pick was the guy who's not signed, Quinshon Judkins. I don't know if he does get signed. I don't know the whole situation, but it's really it's a sigh of like, man, we just can never get these right for the Browns. So again, maybe he reports, maybe he does this. I doubt it though. I doubt it. And then Harold Fannin in round 3, Dylan Gabriel in round 3, quarterback out of Oregon, Dylan Sampson in round 4, and then Shador Sanders. They traded up to get him. That's their entire draft. This is the first team I put their entire draft because it was pretty easy to put because every name is recognizable. Their departures: Dalvin Tomlinson goes to the Cardinals. James Hudson goes to the Giants. Elijah Moore played a surprising amount of snaps for them, goes to the Bills. And then Jedrick Wills, still unsigned, their left tackle, a first-round pick in, I believe, 2020. Their season outlook question. Most teams, I talk about 2025. There is no answer I need for the 2025 Browns. They suck, and Myles Garrett is good. So the only question I have is the 26 starter quarterback on the roster? Like, is the guy that is going to start week 1 for 2026 on your current roster? I'm probably 70-30, no, but you need to figure it out. You need to figure out and give every opportunity to make it yes. They're going to start Flacco week 1. That's pretty much like guaranteed. They're going to try and win games. The only way, like, what does that accomplish? Like, pride? That's it. Throwing Flacco out, I think. I think Flacco should be kind of like strung along. Can you play 6 games for us? and then we're going to see what we got in these two rookies that we wanted. And Jimmy Haslam, the owner today, or not today, but like recently, went out of his way to say like Andrew Barry picked Shador. It wasn't me. So he's like this $1 billion owner couldn't handle the pressure of like, because remember that day it was like, oh, the owner made him pick him. Blah blah blah. But yeah, that's my big thing. And like if you lose 35-0 each and every week, guess what? You figured out your answer. You don't have the quarterback on your roster, and you need to get one.
You drafted two quarterbacks, given not particularly high for either one of them, but you did just draft two quarterbacks. One that had one of the craziest falls, in draft history. It's hard for me to say that guy's not going to be on the roster right now because I would guess it is one of Shador or Dylan Gabriel. But again, you never know how the season goes. I mean, so absolutely get it. I'm probably 70-30 he is on the roster, so I'm kind of the flip for you.
You think it's one of the two, like,
yeah,
I
think it's
day
one
2,
of the
day 3 guys. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, my main question is really the pass catchers. Can they find can Jerry Jeudy really turn into the wide receiver that we wanted when he got drafted, into the wide receiver that he showed he was, like the final 5-6 games of the season?
Yeah, he was really good down the stretch.
And Cedric Tillman, can you bring Cedric Tillman around, and can he turn into a suitable wide receiver 3? He doesn't have to be wide receiver 2, but someone suitable. And can you at least try to build up these pass catchers so when it is time for whoever that quarterback's going to be, whether they're on the roster now or next year, or it's Arch Manning or whatever, that you have that ready and you have the infrastructure around that quarterback when you end up drafting whoever it is. So that's my big question.
I think that listen, we talked about this with our Browns fans, and I don't think optimism's very high. You know what I mean? The floor very low, ceiling also very low. Like, it's not fun, but there are still fun aspects to be looking at, right? Like, we talk about their draft and everything. Yes, they used 2 of their draft picks on quarterbacks and 1 on a running back that currently isn't signed because of allegations or, just straight up like bad things. And,
yeah,
right now, screw what you have to do in the season. It's a lost season. I am so excited to see Mason Graham and Myles Garrett on the same D line. That's like the highlight to me.
They targeted him. They knew, they went into that draft and said, we want Mason Graham. And you could tell because they freaking traded away that pick for a player that I think all 3 of us think is going to be generational. So you knew they wanted to pair him up with Mason Graham. And I wonder how much, or with Myles Garrett. I wonder how much Myles Garrett had an influence on that selection. But didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, the only other thing that I'm looking at this roster, I tried to share the depth chart with everybody. While Matt goes through everything, I'll do it one more time here. And then we'll move on pretty quick.
Keep going.
I got you. So, Deontay Johnson's a Brown. That's kind of fun. It's stupid, and he's not good anymore, but it's fun.
Yeah, is he going to be on like over under 1.5 teams for Deontay Johnson? You would have slammed the over last year when he was on 4 effing teams.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see how many reps Dylan Sampson gets in the offense, given the Judkins situation and how long that gets, drug out. Sampson was a fun one to watch in college, and then Harold Fannin, we talked about in the preseason as well. Behind Njoku, I think that's a fun one to kind of watch develop a little bit as well. But overall, I mean, this offense needs some work, and there's holes on the defense as well. But like, if Flacco is just still, I mean, don't get me wrong, Flacco's like bottom. Why do I keep doing that? I did that a bunch last week. If Flacco's still doing like bottom 10, I would say right now, Like he was like that fringe, like that back half of the like top 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But anyways, if Flacco can do that, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what happens with this team. But
I'm
like I
watching
said,
Ryan in real time talk himself into the 2025 Browns. This is insane.
no, like I'm just saying, like, listen, when I say I'm low on this team, I'm low on this team. But like when I'm just
Couple
there's
bounces.
there's a couple bright spots on the roster. I mean, like we could dookie on them all day, but I mean they're still losing to Chicago.
Just
That's
like
gonna be
their
fun.
helmets.
But anyways, all right, let's do top row, middle row, bottom row. So I'll go ahead and kick us off.
Could I?
They're not winning a single game on that top row.
I was gonna say,
It's not
like, I don't know what your guys' prediction is, but like, I could make it really, really easy, and I mean
No,
not
you're
to like
not.
make it short for you.
You're not
but
gonna
like,
say it.
no, I'm not, because it won't
Not
happen.
that. No.
It has been such a long time, and I don't know if it'll ever happen again. So no, it will not. But there are only 2 wins I have for them is week 9 at New York against the Jets, and then week 17 against the Steelers, because it's
Oh
this
my
division.
god. You
And,
said
and,
week
and,
9. I thought you were gonna say they won the bye.
Yeah.
what?
Week 10 is the Jets. And week 9 is their
Yeah.
bye.
Oh,
The way
my
you
bad.
framed
Sorry,
that
week
was
10.
awesome.
Oh, yeah. Well,
No, that was
hey,
great.
well,
That was
that's one of them. Week 9 and then won the bye. But no, I mean week 10 against the Jets, and then week 17 again with the Steelers, and like that's what it is for me. And I think it's the divisional aspect with the Steelers, and like I don't have a lot of confidence in Aaron Rodgers, and we'll get into that in a minute. But like that's it. It's the Jets and the Steelers. Period. Like that's how bad I think this team is gonna be.
I'm gonna follow up just because Ben just did his. I'm just gonna do mine. We'll just get the Browns out of the way here. The only wins that I'll have is because they'll always squeak out like they're gonna do like one weird win out of nowhere. I'm gonna say they beat the Raiders. They'll beat the Steelers week 17 and beat the Bengals week 18 to win 3 games. That's it.
The poor Browns fans that click on this video be like, "Ooh," like because we put these like this segment, we clip it out and post it on YouTube, and these poor Browns fans that are gonna watch this, like, what do these guys have to say? And it's just like a 5-minute video about why the Browns are gonna be bad. And
I think they know. I think they know.
Yeah.
But shout out the Browns because they're gonna start 1-0. They're gonna beat the Bengals week 1.
Oh,
I love it. I love it.
I think that's a classic Flacco game. A home against an awful defense. Like I think he could like run roughshod the same way like the Jags did a few years ago. Remember when they won week 1 and it's like holy moly, they're actually good. They're not. I have them the rest of the way beating the Patriots, and we all have them winning that Steelers game week 17. Shador's probably going to be starting. That's why. Perfect timing. But overall, like, I think their floor is like not like 1-2 wins. I think their trenches are just too good. I think I'm low at 3-14. It's weird. And maybe it's like just like doing the prep for every team. I'm like, well, I can talk myself into this team when I start doing the prep, but like with their stats last year, like the trenches is like they're good. So I'm confused. I'm gonna look up how Vegas sees this team because I keep forgetting to do that. But
yeah,
no,
it's a fun one. Yeah.
I get it from the standpoint of the defense. Like they could exceed to 2 wins that I have them, because I do like some of the pieces that they do have on the defense, obviously, with your Myles Garrett and your Mason Graham. Obviously, he's always going to have a special place in my heart. I mean, you drafted Carson, especially you're that high because you're confident in what he has. In Denzel Ward, one of the better corners in the league. So, I mean, they have some pieces on the defense to win more than 2 games. For me, again, it really just comes back to that quarterback situation. but I definitely see where you're coming from. Because again, there are the pieces on the defense that can get me excited, juiced up a little bit.
Their over-under is 4.5 with juice to the over. So again, like there's a predict like Vegas is saying like we think they're gonna win 5 games. Plus 115 on the under, if you're kind of thinking the way we are. But again, I think it's hard to be a really really god awful football team when you have good trench play, and I think they do have it. I think there was a time where they were putting anybody next to Myles Garrett and they were still average. Now they've kind of like actually put good players next to him, and they've been pretty solid. Like you saw the stats before this. Like I talked before, like we really got into the depth of this. Like they were really good, and they were 3-14. So still, it could be a weird season. Quarterback could mean that much. Like it could really tank everything. And
it really could. And I'm being dead serious when I ask this question. What is the update on Mike Hall? Because I know you loved him coming out of last year, Matt, and like that was kind of the guy that you were higher on than consensus. But I mean, last time I checked, he was he injured? Like I just don't know what is going on with him.
Yeah,
I was wondering where that's coming from. He got into some legal issues last year around this time, but is he playing this year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on the pup. But again, like there's not a lot of like optimism behind him right now because they brought in a free agent who's making $10 million a year, and oh by the way drafted a guy at 5. So like the interior defensive line room is kind of log jammed with him. He's in it, but I don't think he's as vocal as I would have expected. He was so good at Ohio State, but I digress.
Yeah, that was easy.
Do we have any takes on this team? Is there any like hot take?
Dylan Gabriel is going to be the starter before Shedeur Sanders is, and
that's not hot.
I think that he's actually going to do better.
I'll tell you my hot take.
That's hot.
Kenny Pickett's best quarterback on this roster.
He's not on the roster, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He absolutely.
Oh no, he is on the roster.
Yeah, absolutely is. He's better than Flacco,
Lord.
and I mean,
I think he's 4.
I just saw this.
Like, I think he's 4.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. I mean, if you guys listen to the podcast during this draft season, I was never high on Shedeur, given I never thought he was going to fall as far as he did, and Dylan Gabriel's fun, but I mean, I think Kenny Pickett's is probably the best quarterback.
I don't care about your like I'm lower on Shedeur. He was picked at like 140.
I
like,
agree.
That was
and that's
a value
what I'm
from
saying.
anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I don't really obviously like that quarterback room at all. But I think Kenny Pickett's probably the best, despite him getting the least amount of snaps even prior to the injury.
Okay.
I think he's terrible. We'll leave it at that. Let's get on. Let's move on.